All right, no one hit the target. I'm aware of.
Oh, I didn't check.
I hit it.
I hit it with
Oh,
a
just shoot each other. All right, guys. So everyone got a folder. In the folder, you should have a front sheet that says character. Is it growing, Jake?
Yeah, she's here.
Okay.
She's in. So is Kat.
Taylor and Kat are back there. Say hi to Taylor and Kat.
Hi, Taylor.
Taylor Grabowski's on the road, and she's going to be a part online, so that's what she's going to do. So you should have a little tiny sheet of paper. You should have a long, a one sheet that says character of a student leader. Then you should have a devotion packet and then a spring brochure. Okay. So if you don't have all that in your packet, I can get you one that has everything. All right. So Mike's hanging out with us until other students get here. Jeremy will be here at 2:30. But here's kind of our order of what we're going to be doing. But first, I wanted to thank you guys for applying to be student leaders. I'm not saying that you haven't been accepted yet, obviously. You guys are student leaders now. And I just wanted to tell you guys that I couldn't have picked better people. Like, not that I wouldn't have wanted other people on there, but you guys just are like all-stars in my life. I just think you guys are amazing. So I'm really excited about the team.
You're pretty okay.
There's thanks. It's not about me though.
I would have gotten somebody besides but
if there's anyone on our team that has a need to have their eyes flicked with a rubber band, like a lot of teams don't have that.
He's a good aim.
Yeah. So we have Taylor Grabowski is on our team as well. Marley Jordan and Wilson Beaverstock who can't be here, and Beth Johnson who's not here. So we got a really awesome lineup of people. But anyway, let me share this verse with you guys concerning servanthood. Okay, this is from Matthew chapter 20, verse 26. He said, "Whoever wants to become great among you, you must be a servant, and whoever wants to be first must be a slave. Just as the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and give his life as a ransom for many." So this is Jesus' teaching about himself, saying that he didn't come to earth to be served by us. He didn't come, even though he deserved that, he didn't come to be served. He came to serve people. And that's a really important principle of leadership. And this is what I want just from the very beginning to tell you guys, is that I'm not asking you to be an inside group of youth group people. I'm not asking you to be like the elite or the chosen ones or whatever. You know what I mean? And you guys aren't the people that get special privileges. My goal and my heart is that you guys have the goal of serving everyone else. Like, that's why you're doing this. It's to serve other people, and in turn you're serving God. That's just what it means to be a Christ-like leader, is that you're taking the role of a servant. And when it looks like you're stepping up, you are kind of stepping up, but in actuality you're stepping down, and you're lowering yourself so you can serve everyone else. All right? So that's kind of the opposite of the way the world thinks about leadership sometimes. But I just want to make sure that you guys have that's kind of your heart of why you apply and why you wanted to do this. All right? So, expectations of a leader. Before I get to that, I wanted to actually, let's go ahead and go to that. Let's go to that. So you're going to have the character of a student leader packet in your packet. And I wanted to kind of go over this with you guys just so you know what the expectations are. All right? So what I don't want is for you guys to be leaders and not know what our expectations are about the way that you operate as a leader. All right? So let's read. We're going to go in order. So we'll start with Sarah, go to Madison, and then just keep going back around. All right? And what I'd like to do is for each of us to read one of these, starting with the left column and the right column. And when you read it, just give a brief, what do you think that means in terms of leadership? Or why do you think we put that on this list? Okay? So Sarah, could you start with the first one?
Accepting of others.
Sorry, because Taylor doesn't have this form. This column says, a student leader strives to be,
accepting of others.
Accepting of others. Okay? Next one.
Accountable to another Christian.
Okay.
Authentic and transparent.
Okay.
Encouraging. Encouraging.
Genuinely friendly.
growing in their relationship with God.
Helpful and serving. Humble. Positive attitude.
Unashamed follower of their faith in Christ.
Inspiring role model for other students.
Christ-like on social media.
Okay.
Having.
That's good. We'll stop there. So, what do you guys think are important on this list?
All of them.
Well, yeah, all of them are, and we want you to we want you to commit to living by those, like to the best of your ability. But were there one of those that kind of stuck out and you said, yeah, this is something we need to strive to be in your life that you feel like is especially important?
Definitely like a positive attitude, because sometimes you don't know like if people are going through stuff, like just smile through it and tell them that things are okay. And I feel like that one like goes out, like it branches out into like humble. If you start having a positive attitude, you become humble, helpful and serving, encouraging, genuinely friendly. So I thought that one stuck out to me a lot.
Totally. That one definitely touches all the others. Having a positive attitude is so, like, if you don't have that, you can't inspire people, you can't lead people, you can't help people, you can't serve people. You definitely don't come off as humble, right? Positivity is like, it's really like something that's missing in the world right now. So when you display a positivity of your heart and your spirit, just the way you say words, honestly, like that's just such a valuable thing. It definitely touches all the other ones. Anybody else? What's especially important on this list to you?
I like
Role model.
She already went. Go for it.
Okay.
Okay.
This table's on fire. Go ahead, Madison. We'll go from left to right. My left here.
Well, I mean, a student leader has to be a role model to the students because, I mean, who knows? I mean, once we all graduate, someone's gonna have to take over, and if we inspire them, if we're their role models, we can inspire them to become student leaders when they get to high school.
Exactly. Very good, Madison. Thanks.
I agree.
What about you, Mallory?
Okay. Unashamed follower of their faith in Christ, so you have to obviously be proud of your faith if you're going to teach other people about God. So if you're ashamed of your faith, then that's not good. So.
Good, Mallory. Thanks. What do you think, Curtis?
I liked the social media one because we live in a society where everyone is constantly telling everyone else how they feel about things. And it annoys me. So
How do you feel about that, Curtis?
I think I'm gonna write a post about that.
Yeah, you should. That was good.
No,
I enjoyed that joke.
Yeah, that one though, because I know a lot of people that I like in real life, but really, really don't like on the internet.
Yeah.
And it's, it's an important place because so many people see what you say on social media.
Yeah.
And even though you're just typing in a screen, you are having, whoever reads that is reading you. They're not just reading.
Oh, that's a good point. People
Yeah.
who read your social media are reading you. It's really cool because, well, not cool, but when people make assumptions about you based on the way you behave online, like not your online personality, your real personality.
Like when people at Baker got mad and said BTO for podcast takeover.
Yeah. So all that kind of stuff, like even if I got a call from a parent one time because I liked something on Facebook. So it's not even to what you post anymore, right? For me, I had an experience where I liked something that they disagreed with or whatever. It wasn't like inappropriate. It was a position because of something political that was happening. And I liked something. And because of what?
Was it Harry Potter?
Yeah,
Because that's happening.
That's
No,
what mine
no,
is.
see, that's real too. That's real too. But the thing is, just because I liked that, I got a phone call. So, I mean, it's not just what you post that people make judgments on. And not judgments just on you, but on Christians in general. Maybe even God in general. But it's what you interact with, like what you like. Instagram has this too, where there's a button where you can see what all your friends not only posting, but what they've been doing, like what they liked, what they commented. So like,
Hashtags.
oh gosh,
Yeah.
social media is huge, and that's important. Like a student leader strives to be Christ-like on social media. So Jesus didn't have an Instagram, but like what's a godly way? What's a godly way to interact with your social media outlets? It doesn't mean you always have to post. Every time you post, it has to be about God. That's not what it means. It just means be honorable and realize
Not
people
being
are
an
watching.
angry Facebook person.
What's that?
So not being an angry Facebook person.
Yeah.
Not posting really angry
Yeah, that goes along with a
sexist-
positive attitude. If you're constantly complaining on social media, and all you're gonna think is like, is this dude just not a happy person?
If you're on social media and you end up using the backspace a lot, then that's a good sign that you're thinking the right way. Like, I just can't say I can't say that, or I can't post that, or you know what I mean? Like that's a good sign that you're actually thinking about how I come across to people online. That's a good one, Curtis. All right. So any other ones on that? Especially important. All right.
Genuinely friendly.
Genuinely friendly. What do you mean by that?
Like a few weeks ago, you were talking about how people came here and no one really talked to them or was really like friendly to them, I guess.
Yeah.
And so they
absolutely right.
And I feel like with that, some people just have to like step out their comfort zone sometimes to go. I mean, we are the leadership team. Like we have to, like you said, put ourselves under and not be afraid of like going and saying, hey, to somebody that no one's really paying attention to.
We're going to get to a cool story on that topic. All right, anybody else on that list there?
Also, I'm going to have to agree with Maddie with the whole inspiring role model for other students. Because like it goes with the same thing as positive attitude. It affects a lot of the other things. If you're thinking about being an inspiring role model, in a way, it almost makes you want to be better. So you can be better for people around you. In that, you sort of become more encouraging, more friendly. And I know for me, like I wanted to be better, like for the people around me, is maybe more outgoing too. So like the thing to be an inspiring role model also not only goes into all these other things, but also will affect the people behind you.
Right.
So it's kind of encompassing of all the things.
Absolutely. Good stuff, you guys. All right, the next column says this. A student leader shows their commitment to the youth group by : and it has a bunch of points. So let's start with this one. Is that all right, Sarah, if you do that first?
Having a sense of ownership in the ministry.
Greeting on Sundays and Wednesdays.
Being involved in major events.
Looking for opportunities to serve.
Looking out for middle schoolers, learners, and visitors.
I like that we grouped all middle schoolers as learners and visitors.
There's a comment there.
Modeling appropriate program behavior.
Speaking highly of staff, other student leaders, and youth programs.
Brings friends to programs.
Being thoughtful about the way they communicate.
Offering constructive feedback about youth events or programs.
All those are big. I could spend a lot of time on a couple. I'm just going to mention them again. But, the middle schoolers thing.
Yeah.
We did, I don't think I didn't think about that. That implied something about middle schoolers. It doesn't imply that they're loners or, well, maybe they're visitors, but what we mean is,
we all got it.
Yeah, okay. What we mean is, and that's an important point in general. I'm only saying this because Mike's in here. But the thing is, middle schoolers like Madison said, and Jacob, they are the future, and like we need to stop looking at them like, oh my gosh, middle schoolers, stop talking during worship, or like stop getting on the stage and dancing. Like, what are you doing?
I was about to say, what was that like you
yeah.
Anyway,
we'll talk about it. But the point is like, you guys aren't just high school leaders. You guys are leaders to every student, and you're also leaders to other people in the church. What do you think, Mike?
So like, just to put this in perspective for you guys, we have about 50 confirmation students, and we had about 50 last year. Out of the 50 last year, and the transitions or whatnot, but out of that, we retained maybe 10 to 15. This year, I'd love, obviously, every year want to retain all of them. And that's where you guys can help, by making them feel more welcome on Sunday night. But like that's where the growth of the program is from that confirmation group. And you won't see the growth, but you be part of the growth by helping them feel welcome. Does that make sense? Like you won't see the high school ministry grow because you'll be gone when they get up there. But it will, and it will be thriving because you invested in it.
Absolutely. Yeah, and you guys just need to know you're a high schooler, which automatically makes you like really cool to them. Like just that a high school talks to me, high schoolers talking to me, like they might not even know what to do because they're not. The reality is some of the middle schoolers haven't had that yet, where a high schooler took time to talk to them. Two people in this room got kind of an experience with this because of the freshman retreat this year. We decided to bring upperclassmen along and help them make freshmen feel more welcome who haven't started high school yet. And that was a really cool experience. But that's what we need, is caring about middle schoolers as well as your peers. Okay? Another one, this really, a lot of these tie in with the things that we strive to be in our character, but the thing about speaking highly of staff, other student leaders and youth programs is really big. Backbiting about stuff will kill this thing real quick. Does that make sense? I don't want that to be too negative, but you don't have to agree with me on everything. You don't have to agree with Mike on everything. You don't have to adore every one of our adult leaders. You don't have to like each other 100%, right? I hope you do, obviously. But what kills the positive culture of a youth ministry is when people are backbiting the youth pastor or backbiting other people on staff, right? And I could tell you so many stories. We had a senior in high school at the other church I worked at. They just felt entitled to complain about the youth pastors, and she was doing it to parents. And like sometimes the parents would like listen to her, like she's a senior. They would like listen to her and like take their kids out of it, like just crazy stuff happens. But I don't think we'll have that problem because all of you guys are so positive. You have positive attitudes. But speaking highly of staff, speaking highly of each other, speaking highly of our youth group is something that's just a really foundational part of being a leader. What do you think, Mike?
And when turning that around, like whenever somebody is speaking negative, turn it around. Speak positive. Because, like Tyler said, negativity is poison. It will. I've seen it too, not here, but other youth groups, and it is poison. But turn it around. Like that's what. Like it's a silent code among youth pastors. Whenever we're at schools or we're at something, meet a kid who goes to Dolphin Way Baptist or whatever. We're like, oh, awesome! I know blah blah blah. He's amazing, even though I might not know much about him. You speak up. You make him look good and bring that kid. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and that's a really big commitment of being a leader. You guys aren't here to serve me, right? Like leadership, in my view, goes the opposite direction. So I'm here to serve you guys. You guys are here to serve the students. It's not about you making me look good, right? Like I could easily make it about that. Like I've asked you guys to apply.
We're the problem.
And I could have handpicked every one of you guys because I know that y'all would make me look good as a youth pastor because y'all are awesome. But that's not the motivation. The motivation is I'm here to serve you guys, and we mutually support each other and we talk each other up, right? Because I talk y'all up all the time. And that's not because I'm like, yeah, my students are awesome. It's because I really do think that you guys are incredible students. So that's the point. Mike, were you going to add to that? Or was that Curtis? Who had it? Curtis, we just...
We get mistaken for each other a lot.
I'm going to make you look pretty like. I was going to say, I think it's important too that if you do have a problem and you disagree with someone, even people in authority, you don't let that fester, but you talk to them rather than talking to other people about it. Because it can be just as bad to sit there and not say anything about it and just be mad as it can be to talk to other people about it. So I think that it's important just to go to the person.
I think it was the last thing too. Offering constructive feedback.
That's the one.
Constructive is the key word.
Yeah.
Right.
So, dude, that event sucked. That's not a good feedback, right? Even if you have something negative to say.
think maybe
So
our
just so you guys know,
students
when we break, one thing we're going to do together is we're going to give feedback on events. So when we get through with Winter Retreat, for example, we're going to meet together and talk about like what can we do better here. But even if you have a negative, you don't say it as a negative.
Right.
And we're going to talk about that later. But you can say it in a positive way. So if you hated the games, you don't say, man, the games just sucked this year. Or the flags were terrible or whatever. You say,
Y'all don't
I think we could have done a better job on the games.
Right.
Or I think, you know what I mean? What do you think?
Y'all don't put on Winter Retreat, do you? It's another.
No, we do all of it. We just have a place that hosts it, like we stay at their place, but we do all of it. So it's a lot of work. It's pretty cool.
We're going to start building
I didn't know that.
it.
It's fun.
Yeah, we'll get you hooked in on that. It's a cool experience.
it's great.
I went to
Anyway.
one.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. I went to one in Panama City called Hydrate, and it was really good.
I'm from Panama City. I've never heard of that. That's
Really? Have you heard of it? Yeah, it was really good. I went to two summers ago.
But Curtis's point, and just before we move on to this, because I think you guys get the picture here, but Curtis's point about going to someone when you're upset is so important. It's actually the teaching in the Bible to go to people when you're upset. And if that doesn't work or they don't listen, you go with another person. But let me just make you a promise about, because you guys are serving in ministry now with myself and with Jeremy and with Mike. But I'm just going to promise you something, that if something that I do, or that Mike does, or that Jeremy does, hurts your feelings, you can 100% bet on the fact that it was not intentional. Does that make sense? Not intentional. Now Mike's like, I don't know, sometimes no.
Sometimes we hurt your feelings intentionally.
Right, and that's fine. That's fine. I'm a big boy. But here, if I make you upset, it's like, no, I can't be perfect all the time. Like I had exams this week. I got kids, and I've got stress with other work. Like I'm on a team on staff. Like Jeremy's going to explain all this to you in a little bit, but we have a lot of responsibility just as youth pastors that a lot of youth pastors don't have. Like, it's not on their radar. But for us, because we were at a big church and we have a lot of we're involved in other things, sometimes we can't put on our happy face all the time. Does that make sense? My point is, if we ever do something that hurts your feelings or makes you upset, just please give us the benefit of the doubt that it wasn't intentional. Because it's true. We would never try to hurt your feelings or make you upset on purpose. Right? All right, anything else on this list that you guys want to ask a question about? Because I'm not asking you to sign anything, but this is the sheet right here that I want you guys to hold on to as kind of the standard for how we expect you to live. All right? So this isn't a secret society. It's not a covenant of blood. It's just, this is the guideline.
Oh, I really thought there
were
sacrifices.
Yeah, not sacrifice. It's not the dark brotherhood. We're just asking you.
Oh.
We're asking.
I'll play Skyrim.
Oh, that's a good reference. See, we're going to be a great team. All right. This just means this is what you strive to do as a student leader. Sarah, could you read the first paragraph right there? And then Jacob, could you read the last two?
Leaders everywhere are held to a higher standard in all walks of life. Student leaders in our youth ministry can be a fulfilling experience, but it requires meeting a high standard in your faith, in your behavior, and in your church community. If you ever realize that you are having a hard time meeting these standards, please let us support you with prayer, encouragement, and accountability.
The objectives of this leadership team is threefold: to give you an opportunity to learn about your leadership, to give you a small group experience to grow in your faith, and to improve our youth ministry for every student. The mission statement of our team is to advise the student ministers and adult leaders in selecting/scheduling events and assuming responsibility for certain areas of the student ministry.
Right. Good. So that's what this is here, okay? This is your mission as a student leader. All right? And this is important because I'm not giving you guys responsibility to make decisions. So some student leadership teams and youth groups do this. Like, I just hand you something, and I'm like, you guys make all the decisions about this. All right, go. What I'm doing is like asking you guys to advise. Sorry, where is that? Oh yeah, first, yeah, right. To advise the student ministers. So that's me, Mike, Jeremy, and the adult leaders. So both of our adult teams advising both of those groups in selecting and scheduling events. All right, so we're going to get your input on when we should do stuff and how we should do stuff, like based on your schedules and like the schedules of your friends, okay? And then assuming responsibility for certain areas of the student ministry. So if we give you responsibility for something, you're going to be assuming that responsibility, but we're not telling you that you're in charge of it. Does that make sense? We're just going to give you a portion of responsibility for something. So if I say, all right, guys, I need y'all to come up with the stage games for winter retreat. All right, what I'm asking you to do is come up with it, and then these people make decisions on it. Adult leaders, student ministers. Okay. So what happens at some student ministries and especially student ministries where like the youth pastors come and go a lot, which isn't like our church. Our churches, Methodist churches, like in our area, have youth pastors that stay a while, which is great. But when there's student leadership like this, sometimes like the student leaders just think that they make every decision, and what their opinion is, it's just like the best opinion. But that's where the humility comes in that we talked about. So as a student leader, you recognize, like, this is my opinion in the context of this group of people. And my opinion might not be the right one, but I mean, I'll say how I feel, but I'm going to recognize, like, what I think may not be the right thing. And I do that too, because Jeremy's going to tell you all about this, but Mike and I work together as a team. We're coworkers. And we talk about stuff, and every time I go into a conversation, I realize my opinion might not be right about this. Or Mike might have a better thought or a better answer. And of course, working with Jeremy, which happens all the time. I'm almost never right. But actually, yeah. Yeah. Does that make sense, guys? That's how teamwork is oriented. And like just the structure of authority. So don't think that, just realize if I ask you to do games, this is the whole I'm not going to hurt your feelings on purpose thing. If I ask you to do games, I'm never going to come across negative and tell you that it sucks, all right? Because I'm asking you to be positive, so I'm going to be positive with you. But I'm going to say, you know what, I just don't think, like, these ones are good, but this one right here, let's just think of something brand new. Let's just start from scratch. And you've got to be, like, not attached to it enough to say, you got it. You know what I'm saying? So you have to have some kind of thick skin to where your ideas aren't like treasure to you. Like your ideas, though we want them, are not like just because you share an idea doesn't mean that we're going for it. This is a community of leaders that are like pouring their ideas into one big pot, and we just stir it all up and see what comes out. All right? So don't get attached to your opinions to where you'll get upset if we end up not going with what you thought would be good. Does that make sense? That's kind of a weird way of saying it, but yeah. So we're asking you to advise. Okay? Like the president has advisors. Like national security advisors.
Or the
or
cabinet.
economic
They say you're the
advisors, or
I think it's the
cabinet, right?
minister's cabinet.
And this, yeah, but this isn't like Rasputin, where like the advisor really is the one in power, or Palpatine, like he's, never mind.
No, Palpatine was pretty much in power.
Yeah, true.
What was that for?
All right, no, what else was I thinking of? No, never mind.
You were
That was a
thinking-
reference that you guys
Yeah.
wouldn't understand.
Wait,
Okay,
what?
we're asking you guys. Sorry, we're on a team with some nerds, so it just happens sometimes. We're asking you to advise, and the role of an advisor means I'm giving you my suggestion. Giving you my suggestion. That's all I'm doing, instead of giving you my suggestion. And then these groups right here, student ministers, adult leaders, take your suggestions, and then we make a decision. All right? Speaking of suggestions, you should also have a small little sheet in your packet. Now, yes, and we are going to, I need your suggestions on who I want to ask to be our team leader. Let me explain what I mean by team leader. You probably guessed it. I'm not asking for someone to be the president of this group. What I'm asking for is someone who wants to serve in an additional way, because things have to get done, right? Like I have to communicate with all you guys, or I need something else done, or I need a text sent out, or I need someone to bounce an idea off of really quick, but I don't have time to talk to everybody, right? That will rarely happen. But what I'm asking for is not a president. I'm not giving anyone authority for anything. What I'm trying to do is get you guys to tell me, make a suggestion on who would be a good person to kind of lead us in a servant way. That make sense? So all the people on this list here, let me pull mine out, are juniors and seniors. All right? So we're going to do this, but it'll be upperclassmen. So these are all the upperclassmen on our team that are on this list. But here's the thing, I didn't ask any of the upperclassmen if I could put their name on the list. So here's what will happen. Some of you guys might be like, I don't want my name on this list. But these are the juniors and seniors. What you're going to do is write your name on that. No one has to see it but me and Mike. But you just circle who you think. There might be multiple people that you think would be good. You might even be like, it doesn't matter because all these people are great. But just circle who you think would be a good, who you suggest for me to talk to about this. Also, if you're an upperclassman and you don't want to be on this list, write your name at the top and then just scratch your name out and circle another one. Okay? If you don't want to be on that, I totally get it. All this is just someone that I need you to come up here and do this real quick for me. We don't need the whole team. Or I'll say, hey, could you text everybody, let them know that we need to meet. Our next meeting is this day. Okay? It's just someone that'll help me organize a little bit. All right?
I know that's Sarah and that's Curtis, but can you all see your name?
Oh yeah, sorry, Mallory.
It's okay.
I'm Mike.
That's good. I'm Tyler.
And then Taylor's.
Hey, let's go. Yeah, this should have been the number. The first
Just
thing.
say our spirit animals.
Say, yeah, your name and your spirit.
Preston.
Play the Allstars.
So you're Jacob, you're Preston, you're
Wait, no,
Zach.
introduce their names.
What?
We're actually.
We're gonna go around and say our names and our spirit
Yeah, our
animals.
spirit animals.
What, you don't have one, Sarah?
Say your name.
My name's Sarah. I don't really know what my spirit
I think you're a rabbit.
She's still searching for a spirit. What's yours, Jake?
I'm Jacob, and my spirit animal is Jeremy's phoenix staff. Just walk by.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wait,
My name's Preston Hall. I'd say my spirit animal is a black bear.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Because I like.
Because you like to rub your back on trees, right?
And I like.
Beth will be here at the next meeting.
Good. Who's think Zach?
I'm Zach, and my spirit animal would be Nicki Minaj.
Oh my gosh.
She's pretty much an
My spirit animal is a wolf.
Really?
I'm Curtis, and my spirit animal is Michael Rollins.
I'm Mallory, and I'm a dancer, so I guess I'm a dancer, spirit animal.
I'm Maddie and I'm a rabbit.
Okay. So, Jeremy, that's introductions. We forgot to put everyone's name.
I'm
So
Mike,
we've
it's Amanda.
gotten down to Here. All right, guys. Jeremy, you have time for me to show a quick video? Huh? Okay, I will. All right, so sorry, I just took the liberty to. You're fine. So I'm going to show you guys a video real quick. I didn't ask Taylor's permission. She's watching right now, but we're going to show a quick video. It's about 3 minutes long. And if she was going to be here on time, I was going to ask her to share it herself. But this is a video that was shown at New Song and at the sanctuary services 2 weeks ago. So some of you guys might have seen it. But this is the Grabowskis talking about how they came to our church and felt welcomed and really just found a home here. Like it was like a Sunday morning that was perfect in terms of how we want a visitor to feel and how we want people to feel like they're already a part of a family. Okay, so I'm going to show you this quick video and just say a couple comments, and then Jeremy's going to start. Okay.
Hi, I'm John.
And I'm Heidi.
And I'm Taylor.
I'm Emily.
And we're the Grabowski family.
We usually move about every 3-4 years, finding a church, finding schools, which are really, those are the top two important things for us.
And then it finally came time where we had to get serious about church because we were missing it. We like to be very active, especially with our children. We like to get them included into the community as quickly as possible. We drove around town, looked at a few different churches driving by. We happened to drive by Christ United. We're like, wow, that's a really, really big church. Oh man, that's really big. And we kept going. We were actually on our way to the library that day. Yeah. And got very excited about the library. Well, then I came back home and started looking online and found Christ United again. It was one of the first churches that popped up. So we looked at the website. I actually personally just looked at the website myself and saw the New Song service. Saw Courtney and the band singing, then saw Pastor Jim preaching. Looked at the youth sites for the kids, and that's when I called them out. I called them out from their bedrooms, and I said, girls, you need to come and look at this website, because I think we might have found a place to go. So the website just blew me away. We watched, that particular day, we watched 2 services online, and just got more and more excited. And so we came to church the following Sunday. The first time that we walked into the church, we walked into New Song, and the fabulous people in the blue shirts welcomed us. And I'm sure we obviously looked very lost because we weren't sure where to go. We knew that we were walking into a great organization, but we weren't sure where to take the kids.
We didn't even know which door to walk in.
Yeah, which building to walk in. There was so many different buildings.
But the greeters were phenomenal. Instead of just pointing us in the right direction, the gentleman physically walked us upstairs to the youth, let John and I walk along, so we didn't just have to send our kids off. So we walked upstairs and met Tyler as well, and then I kind of got the eye from the kids that it was time for us to go ahead and go to our service, and we felt so welcome to do that. And John and I were just showered with friendship and welcoming people at New Song service that morning. Yep. So. We were a little concerned about being part of such a big church, that it was going to be just so overwhelming and cold. You know, like, oh, it's just too big. I don't think that we'll fit in here. And that has not been the case at all. It feels so homey. Even if we don't see the exact same people every Sunday, everyone is the same way. Everyone is so welcoming. Everyone wants to know how we're settling in. Everyone offers, you know, if there's anything you need, if you have any questions about the community or the church, just let us know. And for someone who moves frequently, that's golden. To know that we have the family, and really whenever we move, church becomes our family, because all of our family is far away. And I think anyone who's in the military or has a job that moves them frequently would agree with that. Church is it for us, and this church has just been so fulfilling.
Thank you, Tyler, for making me feel so welcome in the youth. I'm usually a very shy person, and you helped me open up, and just thank you.
it's kind of the same thing, but for Mike. And then, like, he's a very welcoming person.
For me, I think I will have to go all the way back to my very first day that I was introduced to Christ United, and I have to thank the amazing website team who have designed just such a great site that pulled us in to a church that we may have just driven by because it was too big and overwhelming. So the website made it small and fun, and we are just so happy.
Yeah, I would agree with that, because without that, we would have probably experienced the other things that the church has. I personally would thank Brad for putting on his portion of the class for the book. He stepped out and helped me be part of that group when he didn't really have to. But without the website, probably wouldn't have happened in the first place.
We also really want to say thank you to one amazing family out of the many at the church, but the Burnham family was so amazing to us the first time that we visited the church. Their oldest son really was like a tour guide for our girls, and took them around the youth, introduced them to other kids, and really made them feel welcome. Helped them find us after the service because we all talked too much. But Mr. and Mrs. Burnham also took John and I under their wings and really took us around the church, introduced us to different Bible study groups, and just really made us feel like we were part of their family.
So anyway, that they had the ideal experience. So the website team, the welcoming team, the youth ministry team, and it's not just like the leaders. You guys all made them feel welcome. They mentioned the Burnham family by name, and I remember Jacob leading them around and making sure they knew where to go and helping them feel comfortable. So listen, that's the goal of our student ministry, is to be a part of that entire experience that every team participates in to make people feel like they're part of a family. All right, and you guys have a role there. When we're here on Sunday mornings, Sunday nights, and Wednesday nights, I love what Preston said. He said that we have to get out of our comfort zone and welcome people, and to not be afraid to step out and make someone feel a little bit more welcome. And that's what we're looking to you guys to do, because you guys are the ones that are informed. You guys are the ones that are going to be involved at the events coming up. You guys are the ones that can not only answer the most questions, but also you're the most excited people about our student ministries that we have. So Jeremy and I were talking about this, and one thing that you guys have decided is that youth group is your number one thing. Like, you guys are involved in other things, but the student leadership team, you guys are students who, like, youth group's your big thing. That's the biggest thing that you care about as far as extracurricular stuff.
The only thing I do that isn't in my house.
Yeah. And so some of you, it's the only But anyway, that's the point. You guys are involved in other stuff, obviously, some of you. But youth group for you is the thing you want to invest the most time and energy into. And we appreciate that, and that's why we're glad you're on the team. So Jeremy's going to talk about a few really, really important things. We're going to do a quick lesson and then pray at the end, all right?